Today I'm going to start building a bed for my grandson. This bed is a twin bed, but I decided that you can build any size you want. I designed it for a twin size, and all the measurements are for a twin size bed, but you can enlarge it or accommodate your own mattress or your own bed the way you like it. We started by buying the wood, and in this case it's Douglas-Fir type of pine, and cutting the pieces for the legs. The legs are going to be composed of two pieces of 2x6 and then one piece of 1x6 of poplar. So you can follow along. We're going to cut a notch out here so the cross pieces will fit in here. And we'll start by cutting the notches. We're going to cut the notches now. I already marked where the cuts will be to cut the notch. You can do it with a scroll saw, or you can do it with any kind of saw that you prefer, but I prefer to use the bandsaw. Now, the notches on the two pieces is being cut, and the other two pieces over here is being cut. I don't know that. So what we have to do is start doing the front part, the part that goes right here. For that, I'm going to switch to another material, poplar wood. So that way, I'm going to give it a little more stronger than regular pine, and a better look on the outside of the bed. Okay, I'm going to use my miter saw, and I put a stop out here, so all the cuts will be at the same distance. The stop is nothing but just one of those quick clamps. And I put on my crosscut, I align the laser to the mark I made, of course, because it's 18 inches. All the wood is going to be the same length. Oops. Need to turn the vacuum. The glue and the pieces we just cut, the 2x6s and the front poplar, the 6x3/4 is supposed to be by 1 and 6x1, but it's not 1 after they pass it to the planer. So okay, I got these already all buttered up, and I'm going to put it right in here, and then I butter up the other side and spread it. Oh, don't spread the news. In this case, it's don't spread the glue. Anyway, it's been real humid out here in Southern California the last few days for some reason or another. I don't know, the weather is changing. The normal weather out here is real dry. And now in the last few days it's been very humid. You put your clothes on and it feels like it's been wet. Not completely dry. It's kind of hot for here, for Southern California. I experienced the same thing in Florida and Georgia, but not here in Southern California. It's very unusual. It's extremely dry. But what are you going to do? The weather is changing. The weather pattern. Now, I got to align these and make sure they won't move. For that reason, I'm going to draw temporarily this block. It is exactly the same width that it's going to take it. Not before. I had to do something so I won't glue the block. I put a little bit before so the glue won't stick. Tap it a little bit gentle, and I'm going to remove it before the glue is totally dry anyways. Okay, now we're lined up. We can drill, I'm going to drill one hole in the bar. And I'm going to put one of these screws, 3-inch long, just the right size to penetrate. Oops. Moved it. Well, now that we have it secure and clamped, we're going to let the glue dry, and then after that we're going to trim the edges, all the edges except for the top, evenly. So that way we're not gonna see these joints out here, this glue up. It's gonna be all gonna look like a one solid piece, especially after it's been painted. Anyways, that's as much as we can get today. All the rest of the glue ups are drying. I mark the center line on the front piece, which is 2 3/4. I mark the center line. Then I took the compass and marked from the. I already had this fixed, so all the 4 legs will be exactly the same. So I put this there, and I mark the arch that I'm going to cut, and that will be the front of the leg on the outside of the bed. So that way I mark all of them. All of them are marked the same way. From the center, I mark down first from the top of the leg, and then I mark the arch. Then after I mark the arch, I just darken it a little bit with a sharp pencil. Then we go to the disc grinder, and there's not much to cut, so I do it on the disc grinder, and I cut down. Now I have to turn on the vacuum on the machine, if not, you need to go with a dust extractor. Okay, you can see it wasn't that difficult to do. What I'm doing now is equalizing the length of all the legs, with a little bit of glue in the air, a little bit here, a little bit there. So I take it just 1/16 of an inch with a stop out here, hold by this clamp, and now I cut in all the legs to equalize the length, because of the error on the gluing, it's a little bit higher, a little bit lower. So this should take care of it. I almost forgot to record it, but what I'm doing is rounding off all the edges on the front and the bottom. The bottom is because when you drag the table, it's trying to lift up the splinters. That's all. And a little bit in the back, if somebody reaches over, it won't be too sharp, might be injure somebody. So that's what I'm doing. Just round up some of the edges. easy. We had a perfect round out. I'm going to do the rest of the legs, and then we'll back for the beam, beam and cross members. Now, we have to notch the cross pieces. The twin bed, in this case, has a definite width, which is 39 inches width, right? So we had to take the measurements from the first line of defense, then first load, and trace it right here. So we have exactly 39 inches from the width of the bed. Then we had to add, I would say 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch deeper in to get your, be able to lift the mattress, get your hands underneath or your fingers underneath, lift the mattress so you can tug the cover. Now, we have to take 3 inches for the notch. And this is the right, the notch that we have to cut. This is the notch we need to cut. So that way, we're going to have exactly the width we need on the bed. Not that difficult, but and then the other piece, the long rail, will fit inside here. You'll see better when it's explained when we are assembling the whole bed. On the machines, I'll tell you a little bit. I ran these two boards through the plane, to the thickness planer, very thin, very thin, just to take the biggest little dings and dents. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to sand it a little bit up to 220, and that will be good enough. If it's got a little hole or something, it doesn't matter. Add to the character. That's what I build the thing with. I put some poplar in the front of the legs, but this one is just plain pine. And that should be good for a teenage bed. And then we're going to seal it with a shellac, and then a coat or two of polyurethane and water-based polyurethane. After I plane a little bit and sanded the side rails, I have to cut them to size. The size is in the bed is 74 inches long. It's a regular twin mattress. And many mattresses also is the same length. So 74, but you have to be able to leave a little bit of space out there so you can put your fingers and lift the mattress and tug underneath the covers and the sheets and whatnot. So here's to 74 3/4. You don't want to leave too much of a frame overhanging because it can lead to injuries. So 74, 1, 3, 74 3/4. That should be plenty for be able to make the bed properly. Other than that, the more you leave, the more the chances to get somebody injured by hitting them with your shin or something like that. So you don't want to leave too much of these things exposed. All right. I already cut and squared the other side, and I have a laser to align the cut here, so I'm going to leave the mark and I cut right next to it. You see, I just glue these pieces and I put it on the legs, the left and the right side. And I just glue it in front of here, this board, the fascia board, we'll say, the part outside of it. Put some glue on that one, and I glue it through I put it on the slot, and glue it. I put a piece of scrap wood across, and I tighten the clamps. Same thing with the head or the bottom. Yet I need to make a decision which one is going to be the head and which one is going to be the bottom. But in all saying, this one is already glued, and I put some screws in here. I'll show you now. I'm going to try to put some screws in this right here. I got a little bit of squeeze out here, but I'm going to wait till it dries a little bit, and then with a sharp chisel I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, now I'm going to pre-drill, because I don't want any splitting out here. I'm going to pre-drill 2 holes. Now these are going to be 3-inch long screws. And then one more to around this area. It's going to be a 2-inch. That way between the glue and the screws, those legs are never coming out. Yes, you can jump on the bed. You can, use it as a springboard, and those legs are going to stay solid in there, especially inside that groove. Although it doesn't have glue on both sides, I have glue on one side. It doesn't matter. It'll stay there no matter what. Do that to all 4 legs. putting those screws on all 4 legs, and then we were ready. Now we have both of the sides of the bed finished. They don't have the finished yet, but they are complete. So what we have to do now is work on the cross pieces. I'll bring you back when I start working on it. Okay, now that I got it together, I will have a I'm going to have a drill a small hole and put a temporary screw. Then at the end, I take it apart to finish it, and I'll put a lag screw. This is just to hold it, but at the end it's going to have a bigger screw. Okay, my battery on the driver, it just went out, so I switched batteries with the driver. That's an advantage of having. Okay, now at the end I will put a lag screw in there, but everything is just peachy now I can hold it. If I can back you up right here, this is the level where the little ledge is going to be. It started from here, and here that's the top of the clips they're going to come across. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to put a bunch of slots or I'm going to put a piece of 3/4 plywood. But here is the ledge at this level, so the mattress will sink about 2 inches into it, and that way it won't slide back and forth on top of the bed. Now you can see the bed. All they need is the headboard and the footboard. So it's almost there. Now I just put a temporary screw out here, just to hold a small screw, just to hold it. Then I'm gonna have to plug the hole, of course, but just to hold it into position. Now I'm gonna locate the hole where this type of bolt is going to be the one that goes in there. So I already marked the distance here where I had to drill the 90-degree hole to the that. Now we had to do the same thing on the other side, mark the hole, and then we'll be back where these are the installation of the footboard. I tried to drill straight holes, and I had to make a piece of block to make sure I drilled those holes straight. So what I do is a slightly bigger hole in here. So I had already marked the center with a awl. So I put the drill bit out there, and then I clamp that block. So that way I cannot be drilling off center, not straight or crooked, I should say. Okay. So that way I'm ensured as much as possible that the hole that will go in straight and not downhill or crooked to one side or another. Now I will drill the cross hole in here to install these round nuts. This round nut, it'll go in there. Then when I put the bolt there, it'll catch on the thread of the round nut and holds it very sturdy. It's easier than put a lag bolt out here because it's the end grain, and the lag bolt that won't hold too good for a long time. Especially when the wood starts to loosen the moisture. Those lag bolts tend to loosen itself up. So I marked, that's what I wanted to drill the whole square as I can. So therefore, now I'm going to drill the cross hole that I can't come out of the other side. Now, I can put this round nut. This slot out here looks like a screwdriver slot. It's not. That indicates the position of the nut. So I put it in there and put the bolt, for example. There. And now I'm screwing into the hole. And screwing and catch that nut, and the hole is deeper in case you need more thread to go in there. But the inch and a half out here, you got a little bit of play with it. Okay? That's the way I attached the head. Now I'm starting to apply finishing, and it's nothing but dissolved shellac. I use the shellac to finish not to completely finish, but to put some color on the wood. I am having like a ½ pound cut, of shellac dissolved in this glass, and I wipe it on the wood with a rag, a balled up rag. You make a little ball with a rag and you wipe it into the wood. And depends how dark you like it, you can make it, you wait till it dries up a little bit for about 20 minutes because it's alcohol based. You buy the shellac in any hardware store, the amber shellac, because the regular shellac, it doesn't have, what do you call it, any color. You get the amber shellac, and I cut it down with a half and half with alcohol. It's already 1 pound cut, so I further cut it by splitting half alcohol and half the shellac that came in the can, which is a 1 pound cut. And then that is enough to just put some color on the wood. Not too much, but it's just right. And because it's cut with alcohol, it penetrates the wood to a depth that it's not going to rub off really easy. You don't need that much. You don't need to soak the rack, otherwise it's going to start running on you. That is an excellent solution. I like it better than any other type of wood stain. And it dries a lot faster because it's alcohol based and evaporates almost immediately. That is a good solution for these things. And if you don't like dark wood colors, this is a perfect solution. So I go ahead and finish putting these on all the rest of the parts. A little bit on the inside, a little bit on the outside, depends on what is visible. And that it says it's cheap and easy to apply. You can apply it in places that you don't see that often. And that will help keeping the appearance, everything. Okay. That is done. Installing the clit inside to support the slots that's going to hold the mattress in place. Okay, now we installed these cleats. I installed the other side and just put a little bit of glue all the way across and then put it down just to give it a little bit of strength. And that's all. Then we're going to cut, after we get it all together, we're going to cut the slots to hold the mattress in place, and these cleats are the one that's going to hold the slots in place. All right. Start building the headboard. I attached it to the side with 2 long lag bolts. I was thinking about corner boring the lag bolt and the hole for the lag bolt and then plug it, but I don't think I will go through that. We'll see. And the way I build I'm building this is the headboard is I sandwiched 3 pieces of a 3/4, and the 2 outside pieces, they are wider, and the inside pieces are half the width. So I created a channel. Let me show you right here. I created a channel inside so it could be encrusted with the runners, and when I don't have the runners, I put these spacers in here, so it looks like when it's all stained and done, it looks like a one piece. You can see it from the back side. If we can get close enough, yeah, you can see the 3 pieces of wood, the center one being the narrow one. So that way it creates that channel inside there. Okay, and then on the bottom attached it with some long lag bolts. Well, here you can see the completed headboard and mounted on the support for the bed. You can see the construction. I already put shellac on it. And you can see the construction on it. And please, I didn't use pocket holes or pocket bolts. It's all encastrated on the channel like I pointed out before. Okay, now we're going to do, I already cut this, the piece of plywood the long way. Now I'm going to cut it sideways, across. So I just rip it the width of the bed, and I'm going to rip the, I'm going to cross cut the length of the bed. Now, my circular saw has an offset of 4.5 inches. So if I have a 4.5 inches offset, I'm just going to mark it. Cut it square, mark it. And put a straight board right on the line. One side. And the other side.